Can you hear me, guys?
Yep.
Excellent. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or as an old friend of mine would say, good moments when he was talking to a crowd over the internet. I'm currently stranded in an airport. I just lost my flight. You might hear some background noise. We've had the same issue a previous AMA or a previous call, so hopefully you'll get used to it. There's a couple interesting things happening in Cherry right now. I will, however, try to keep this brief since Eoghan is trying to leave soon, and we'll try to keep this AMA a bit more concise than usual. So I've covered over the past 3 AMAs the company, the firms, the project's efforts to adjust to the varying market conditions. I think, as I've shared in the past few AMAs, we've matured in our understanding and our strategy, and we're pretty able to respond to these challenges. Again, if you have any specific questions about that, I'll be happy to answer them. But in more general terms, what does this mean for you guys is that while we will maintain the same strategy, it was relayed somehow generically in the previous calls about focusing on quality over quantity, which again is an obvious choice. You would think, well, of course, duh, but not quite. We'll keep on doing that while still trying to carry along these partnerships we've matured and carried forward over the past several months, near a year, many of them, and get you in a very short order pretty interesting decentralized applications that our ecosystem have developed over many months. So they're already quite substantial and competitive, that we've funded, and hopefully so that you can start engaging with dApps and other features natively within the chain. Okay, that's some. 1 moment.
I think Herman had some.
Yeah, there's this gate announcement in the background. Oh, okay. I apologize for that. Okay, so beside that, what does that mean? We have began rehiring people or hiring new people. We hired 2 people over the past few days. One of them I'm quite excited about. He'll be occupying a bit more of a leadership position, so hopefully he'll be able to introduce you to him over the next few weeks. We're quite proud of him, his involvement, and he'll be assisting us with ecosystem growth. So if you have a project, again, interested in launching, though uncertain in the markets, perhaps you're confident in Cherry's technologies and you're confident in your ability to get a new project that's viable and worthwhile for people to use. But we now have this additional resource and expanding them to make your idea a reality through investment, through our own technical, both advisory and development itself. Other things interesting to cover that have happened over the past week or so. Seedling has launched. Last time we spoke, staking had maybe just launched or was about to launch. We've had some non-network specific issues regarding to staking. Many were confused by the interface. We struggled to get a tutorial out sooner. frankly, the documentation was already quite thorough. That was a reason why the tutorial wasn't produced as quickly, because we had an intuition that you could just go to the documentation and look at that little consensus section. Most of the things that are now covered in the tutorial were explained quite thoroughly there. There aren't that many passages. In regards to liquid staking, in regards to on-chain staking or off-chain staking, yeah, we did cooperate with Seedling to get you this product. It is working as expected. People have complained about the statistics, the APY not reflecting. That is simply a problem related to lack of explanation rather than anything concerning, to be honest. So you should probably be able to see greater statistics about your principle, about your maturing interest on that principle, and see it compound within the same interface over the next few weeks. We have a couple of new interesting projects I'd like to share. Perhaps I'll share one. This is a project much like Gitcoin, allows projects. The first client will, of course, be Cherry Labs. But we plan on having other either ecosystem projects or projects external to Cherry adopted as well, where these projects or patrons, let's call them, can set tasks or can set specifications, grant objectives, where developers can complete these tasks, complete this task, and in return receive money. My goodness, so noisy. Anyway, beside this, I think you have a basic intuition of how a project like this would work. There are a whole bunch of things happening with Cherish and Unigate. We'll try to get those out in plain view as quickly as possible, but within our focus for quality, these two projects as core to the Cherry network, or the most renowned certainly of the Cherry network, are in our minds. I'm sure Marvin will have a bit more to say about the upcoming plans for Cherish. We'll try to get people from Unigate to disclose their progress in one of these AMAs probably this month. Original Factory is also about to launch. Pretty unfortunate times to launch an NFT organization. They've been struggling with market situation. They wanted to delay. I suggested against. I think that's it for now. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them. Otherwise, I'll pass it over to the other guys. Thank you.
Thank you, Herman. I'm just going to have a quick look to see if there are any questions. There have, of course, been many questions about the staking over the past week or so. Most of them have already been addressed. Most of them are addressed now twice in different formats since we redid or kind of gave a new manifestation to what was written in the docs, in the blog post, or sorry, the forum post. So we're not going to spend too much time on staking support questions in this AMA because it's more of those are more support issues. Although I will say that there'll be more tutorials, etc., forthcoming over the next few days, and we will help people work through the issues that they have. But now is more focused on a project perspective and not troubleshooting for people. That's not what the AMA is for. So I'm just going to have a quick look to see if there's any notable questions in the group which might be worth addressing. 1 second. Yeah, I think I got some questions in my DMs over the past while. So with regards to the timing of, someone asked if there would be much delay for the ecosystem projects given the turbulence in the financial and crypto markets. And the answer is no. Herman, the last point that he addressed was with regards to original factory, which, for example, is not delaying significantly. We don't feel that it's very wise to keep putting off a launch, because delaying a launch due to market turmoil is primarily a financial concern. It's not really a strategic concern that much. And given the fact that our treasury is in a healthy condition, it doesn't make too much sense for us to do that. Obviously, for example, Marv, in Cherish, it's better if Cherish launches during a period of significant exuberance and optimism and growth in the crypto market. But it also doesn't make sense for us to wait for that, because we don't know when that's going to happen. And it's just, we can do it without the we can generate enough of our own momentum without needing to rely on market momentum. So the answer to that is no.
Exactly.
So that's one of the main.
Owen, I'll just add something to that. Owen couldn't have said it better. Indeed, launch timing, those sort of matters are certainly a strategic question rather than, or should be a strategic question rather than one concerning finance or market circumstances. The entrepreneurs developing and developers developing these projects are not oracles. They don't know what the market will do, so that it makes no sense whatsoever for them to plan and respect it. My goodness, they just keep on changing their gates. So, in addition to this, I don't know if you can hear me. In addition to this,
will now depart from gate E9 at 10:01 a.m. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So, just to refine this point, while it's not their job to address market circumstances, I think this interlude we spent understanding what the market circumstances meant enabled us as advisors and investors of them, as well as they themselves, to get a better understanding of the situation and adjust their strategy in response to it. So the reason I mentioned this recurring thoughts, and this recurring discussion within the team in the AMAs about how to address complex circumstances, a downturn in the markets, is exactly that. Not so much that we want to predict and adjust our strategy in response to it, but rather how these circumstances over which we have no control can educate our way forward. The way forward is not under discussion. We have a plan. We're quite confident in the plan. All these projects agree in broad terms on what the plan is. They will want to launch. They will want to get users and expand the Cherry ecosystem. It's just a matter of execution. And I think over the past 2 weeks, though it was a delay, we now have a pretty good understanding, certainly one that's competitive, one that is perhaps superior to many others, to respond to these market conditions and make these launches a success.
Yep, that's a good way to put it. It's more of a tactical learning moment as opposed to a point of strategic reappraisal. In that, it's very good to learn how to launch products as effectively as possible, even when the countervailing forces in the markets aren't really on your side. It's still good to put our best foot forward, but that doesn't mean that we will pause and not put any feet forward. So, yep, that's what I was trying to get at as well. Thank you for that, Herman. Aside from that, I can't see any other. I think our community has been quite preoccupied with the staking, so I think that that's primarily the main question that I saw that a couple of times, people asking about delays. So I think we've addressed that in full. As I said, otherwise, in terms of the staking questions that everybody's mostly focused on, we'll answer those in the coming days with more resources, but also just addressing and helping people troubleshoot some issues. So that's not anything for people to worry about. Okay, so aside from that, I'm going to just move on. Thank you, Herman. I'm going to move on to some things that I have to address. I've only got a few minutes now, so I'm going to be very, very quick. First and foremost, within about an hour, the internship job posting will be posted on jobs.cherry.network, and it will also be broadcast on our Twitter, Telegram, and Discord. We have one job posting for all of the different roles. The roles will be listed, but we've decided to roll these in under one job posting because it's a case where some people might want to be, say, they're interested in development, but they're also interested in VC. Say they're interested in finance, but also marketing. Whatever it is, finance and VC will be one area where people cross over an awful lot. So we'll basically have these 4 different roles: development, marketing, finance, and VC. And in your application, you will just probably either tick boxes or you'll just list which you prefer. I would recommend people to focus on one and don't say that you can do everything. But if you would like to be rotated through different functions within the Cherry ecosystem and within the Cherry project, but also within the Cherry ecosystem, let's say you have a strong interest in VC, so you'd like to work with Diego in Seedling, but you're also interested in marketing, and maybe you'd like to work with Paul and me on some of the marketing things that we work on in Cherry, then that's fine as well. This will all be explained in the job post. So to cut to the chase, the internship profile or the internship portal or job posting will be available to view on jobs.cherry.network within about an hour. Okay, I'm going to move on. The next point that I wanted to touch on was the event. The next event is going to take place on Tuesday evening, the 26th of July in Amsterdam, Noord-Holland in the Netherlands. The event place itself hasn't been determined, but it will be somewhere around the center. Amsterdam is reasonably easy to get around once you're within the ring road, so it shouldn't be too hard for anyone to get there. We might have it like across the river, so it might require some of you to get the ferry across the Eye, but it probably will be on the main side of Amsterdam. We're not 100% sure. We're kind of evaluating a few different places, but it would be very good fun. I welcome everybody to go there. We're going to try and do some of the event in Dutch and some of the event in English, but generally, I think most people working in tech or interested in tech in the Netherlands can speak English anyway, so it shouldn't be too much of we won't emphasize Dutch too much. It is primarily going to be organized by myself and Marvin, but there will be other team members there, including team members who haven't been to other events in the past. It's going to be fun. We're going to have some interesting things going on there. The 2 previous events we did were fun, so this is guaranteed to be a nice evening, a nice constructive evening where you can get insight into the project. You can make good contacts with other community members and also the team themselves. And yep, I'm looking forward to it. It should be good. Now you're just gonna have to bear with me. Oh yeah, I have to duck out in like 2 minutes because I'm doing a podcast, as I mentioned, podcast appearance thing. It's going to be fun. I'm just going to talk about Cherry for like half an hour with some guy. I can't remember the name of the podcast, but it looks good. I've listened to it before, and I'll share the link when that's published in like a few days. Anyway, the final thing that I want to touch on is that we are running a merchandise competition. So over the next few days, I think 6 days, Marvin's going to take over and show some of the details. And I think very soon our design maestro Luis is going to have the slides description finished. Basically, this is what's going to happen. You will, if you want, you don't have to, but if you want to take part, what you'll do is design different parts of merchandise, whatever you want. Obviously, the main things that you should focus on are caps, pins, pens, hoodies, and t-shirts, and lanyards. So try and design them. If you have any design competence, you have to keep it within Cherry's kind of brand palette and use our logo and stuff. We don't need you to make a new logo. Don't make a mascot, anything like that, but just make them look good. If you have an idea for a cool like hoodie, a cool Cherry hoodie, you could pick any of the many colors in our brand palette. You could put the logo all over in a kind of houndstooth design, whatever you want. Use your creativity and send them into us. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to pick the best in class for each kind of category, and then give prizes for the winner in each. And then those that we choose, we're going to get made, and then we're going to start giving them out to the community. We're going to have them made. Basically, the deadline is for the Amsterdam event. So anybody who comes along, we'll try and get some merch at that. And then people who have been at previous events and stuff, we'll try and hook you up with some, post it out to you or something. I don't know. I'm not going to make any commitments in that regard, but we'll see. But anyway, the community is going to have merchandise pretty soon, and it is going to be pretty cool. It's going to be, we're going to try and make it look good, so it's something that you could wear to the gym, or to college, or to your job or something, and people will be like, hey, what's that cool hoodie? Where did that come from? And then you can tell them about Cherry, and then our community grows. But yeah, it's going to be fun. Marv is going to go over more of the details, but as I said, it's going to run for about 6 or 7 days. We're going to have more details of the file formats and stuff to come out very soon. But we just pick, like, if you have a crazy idea for merchandise, like a pirate hat, then go for that. But if you pick something that's really, really, really out of left field, that is going to be hard for us to get made, then you're probably not going to win. We're probably going to pick five of the 5 best designs, and then give prizes for that. But like, if you pick like a Cherry frying pan, or if you pick like a Cherry candelabra, Cherry pirate hat, Cherry sneakers, Cherry Yeezy sneaker crossovers, you're probably not going to win, because we just can't get it made. But that doesn't mean that you shouldn't be optimistic. You can make, I think, up to 3 entries each, or 2 or 3 yet. I think it's 2 or 3 entries each, or 1, 2 or 3 entries each. So just be creative. Marv is going to tell you more details about this, and then within the next 2 hours, we're going to publish all the details about that. Anyway, guys, I really have to leave. Marv and Diego are going to take over. They're going to do the quiz and stuff like that, and they're going to elaborate on some of the other things that are going on. And I'll talk to you guys in the group over the next couple of days if you have any questions, etc. Marv, do you want to take over? Okay, bye.
Hey guys, nice to have you all here. I'll just talk a bit about Cherish first, and then I'll just talk a bit about Cherish first, and then I'll give you a bit more explanation about the merchandise competition which will be running. So for Cherish, we have a new featured artist that you can expect to be posted on our on our social media. He'll be joining in actively as soon as Cherish launches. So that's something to look forward to. His name is Adam, and he's a really talented digital artist. So I'm really excited for you guys to get to know Adam and see what he's all about. As we are reaching closer to our deadline of launching Cherish, we can start to paint a deadline or a timeline or time frame when Cherish will become operational, and you guys can get to explore the platform and such. So that's very exciting. I think right now we are looking for the end of August. Let's say the end of July. Sorry, end of July. Not to confuse people. So that is where we are aiming at right now. Of course, it's not easy to learn something on a new blockchain, but we have a very competent team in the background and a lot of support from Cherry Network and Cherry Labs. So we are not too worried about that. Over the next weeks, we will give you more insight into what the capabilities of the platform will be at launch and some more sneak peeks. So it's very exciting times here. I think it'll coincide a bit with the Amsterdam event, but we'll see that coming through soon. Then quickly, I'll try to go through the merch design competition guidelines with you. Try to do it right now. Give me a small second as I fix the screen here. Oopsie daisy. Yes, you should all be able to see that now. All right, so design competition. Yeah, we want you guys to be pretty creative with what you make. We thought we could just post the C on a t-shirt, but that's not that creative, and we love being very creative with our creative community here at Cherry. So we want to engage you guys a bit more with that. These rules and the terms of the competition will be posted online in just a bit, but I'll just go over them with you right now. So each individual can submit a few designs. Designs can be applied to any kind of merchandise product, as Owen said. Any entry that does not comply with the rules will be disregarded, of course. So the competition will be until the 11th of July, 11:59 p.m. UTC, and then we will judge them accordingly. Our decision will be final on that, so we know what we're able to make and what is possible within the reach of what we can do, but you'll get a full overview of that afterwards. Then we're also giving you our color palette and our formats that we'd like to have it in, so you guys know what exactly to work with, and we'll set up a decent way for you guys to showcase everything to us, so that we don't get designs mixed up and stuff. But you know, some more information is coming about that very soon, so you should definitely look forward to that. Diego, you here?
Yes. Thank you, Marv. Interesting Merc competition. Hope all the artistic guys listening can join in and participate. So now regarding Seedling, I'll keep it short and simple this week. We're looking into some new protection measures for investors in Seedling, looking at new ways to protect your funds when investing with us. We know there's many projects out there looking for fundraising without clear ideas of how to develop their utility and looking for a quick money turnover. Therefore, we're looking more than the extensive due diligence and quantitative analysis, including the internal forecasting that we already do. We're looking to provide some kind of safety vault for your funds when investing with us, and therefore demanding some extra security measures to the project in order to ensure all projects follow a clear guideline that will be provided by us, making a very secure platform. The details will be announced soon, but you'll get the general gist. Other than this, I can say we have arranged calls with many projects for this week and the next weeks in order to look at reactivating the whole platform again, looking at making available certain project pools in a much more flexible way. So this is very cool news, always looking at the best projects to launch, since it's not the best strategical time to launch as of now. Finally, we're working in spreading around the Seedling word and looking at expanding our network system in order to provide some extra post-launch support to projects. This is always good and attractive for projects to launch with us. That's pretty much all for Seedling. There's many other things going on internally that can't be shared just yet, but I'm sure all the seedlers listening today will be probably mostly happy in the upcoming months. I think that's all for now. We can change to Telegram. I'll be hosting today's quiz. It will have a longer format today to keep you guys more active. So yeah, thank you guys for listening and hope you all participate in the quiz. The first question will be sent in the next minute or two. Thank you, guys.
Okay, thank you everybody for listening, and have a great day. Goodbye.